Part 1. The Aviator's Memory. A pilot who had crash-landed in the Sahara Desert remembers his childhood. He drew a picture of a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. Grown-ups always thought it was a hat, urging him to quit drawing and focus on geography. This made him feel lonely. Part 2. A mysterious meeting. As he tries to fix his plane, a little boy appears out of nowhere and asks him, "Please, draw me a sheep." The pilot is astonished. This child, who seems to have come from another planet, is the first person to understand his childhood drawing. Part 3. The Little Prince's Home. The Little Prince describes his home. Asteroid B612, a tiny planet barely bigger than a house. His most important task was weeding it and protecting it from bad seeds, like the seeds of the baobab trees, which could split it apart if they grew too big. Part 4. The Capricious Flower. He tells the pilot about a beautiful, vain, and dramatic rose that grew on his planet. He loved her deeply, but was confused by her words. He took her words too personally and decided to leave to see the rest of the universe. Part 5. The King's Planet. His first stop was an asteroid ruled by a king with no subjects. The king claimed to rule over everything, even the stars, but his orders were always what the other person was already going to do. The little prince learned that authority must be reasonable. Part 6. The Vain Man's Planet. Next, he visited a planet inhabited by a vain man. The man only wanted to be admired and applauded. He asked the prince to clap for him so he could tip his hat. The prince left, learning that vanity is meaningless without true connection. Part 7. The Drunkard's Planet. On the third planet, he found a drunkard who was drinking to forget that he was ashamed of drinking. The prince was puzzled and saddened by this endless, pointless cycle. He learned about the traps of addiction and shame. Part 8. The Businessman's Planet. The fourth planet belonged to a businessman. He was so busy counting and claiming ownership of the stars that he didn't even look up at their beauty. The prince thought that what he did was not useful to the stars or to himself. Part 9. The Lamplighter's Planet. The fifth planet was very small, occupied only by a lamplighter. His job was to light the lamp at night and extinguish it in the morning. But the planet spun so fast that he had to light it every minute. The prince admired him because he was faithful to his orders and thought of someone besides himself. Part 10. The Geographer's Planet. The sixth planet was home to a geographer who recorded eternal things, like mountains and seas. But he never left his desk to explore. He asked the prince to describe his planet. When the prince mentioned his flower, the geographer said flowers are ephemeral and not worth recording. This made the prince miss his rose. Part 11. Arrival on Earth. The geographer suggested the little prince visit Earth. On Earth, he landed in the middle of the desert. He was surprised by its size and emptiness. He felt very small and alone. Part 12. The Snake's Riddle. The first creature he met was a snake who spoke in riddles. "I can send you back to where you came from," it said. The prince understood the snake's power was great, but also dangerous. Part 13. The Garden of Roses. He climbed a mountain and found a vast garden full of roses. He was heartbroken. He thought his rose was unique in all the universe, but here were thousands just like her. He lay in the grass and cried. Part 14. Taming the Fox. A fox appeared. The fox taught him the most important lesson. What is essential is invisible to the eye.